Hi there, and welcome to the Carpe Diem Conversation Show. I'm Andy Willis, the host of this show, where we have conversations with business owners, real life people, sharing their real life stories about getting more out of life by integrating work and life as one. Basically, we're talking about Carpe Diem, seizing the day every single day. So, welcome. Thank you for joining us again this week. Really excited about today's show and today's guest. Before I bring today's guest on, though, I want to share a little bit of something that added value to my life. I thought I'd share along and add some value to yours. And it's this book. It's called Ish, which is the problem with our pursuit for perfection and the life-changing practice of good enough. This book, it sort of sums it up in its intro here. We often have this belief that it's not ready yet. Whatever it is we want to do with it, share it, send it, ship it, sell it, or show it, or even tell someone about it. So it's about we constantly holding back for perfection until it's good enough. And this book's by Lynn Caselli. She talks about the opportunities we're missing out on by holding back, and how to just get it out there, put it out there. And I'm an absolute advocate for that. Just putting it out there and incrementally improving as you go. If you've got it out there, at least you've got an opportunity to improve it. But if you're holding back and waiting for perfection or waiting for it to be good enough, sometimes it just ain't going to happen. So really, really good book. I actually drew some parallels from it, and one of them's probably this show. A few weeks ago, I decided I'd just put it out there. Wasn't perfect. I thought, no, I'll just put it out there. Hopefully, I'm incrementally improving each week. This is week number 3. We had an intro this week. I think it's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed it too. I've changed the graphics for the show. I think they jump out a bit better. I hope you do too. So hopefully we're incrementally improving as we go. The other parallel I drew from this was about, the people that come to me, the people I work with, other business owners I see out there that are putting off until they're ready or until later to spend more time out of their business. So they're not ready yet to spend time out of their business doing the other things they love. And this is exactly why I do what I do, because I see these people out there and they're doing exactly that. They're waiting for perfection or waiting for the perfect time. A few years ago, when I decided to transition my conference and event management business to work from anywhere, I just booked my flights to France, booked a month's accommodation in France back in 2013, and I just went and done it. And as they say, the rest is history. Nothing went wrong. I improved each year, and life just got better. I spent 2 months and then 3 months in France. Now I go back there every year. And this is what I help other people. I saw that opportunity and what a huge difference it made to my life. And so I really do relate. This book is a bit Carpe Diem-ish. It's about whatever it is, just do it. Seize the day, put it out there. Anyway, that's my share of value. I hope get hold of that book. And I love the book. I'm not getting paid to do this. I just really like the book, and it's great book. So much so that I've decided I'm going to give a copy of this book away to someone tonight at the end of the show. So you have to hang in there and wait to the end of the show, and I'll give away a copy of this book. So that's my rant for the day. Next up, let's introduce tonight's guest. Tonight's guest is going to share with us the enormous impact his decision to make a change has had on his life. Tonight's guest is Reid. Ian is actually an old school friend of mine. We hadn't seen each other for 30 odd years. We reconnected a couple of years ago. Ian has over 40 years business experience working in both the banking and the forestry industry. He has been a business owner for the past 13 years. He's very passionate about the environmental and sustainability of the forestry industry and the positive contribution the industry brings as a truly renewable resource. His employees are his company's greatest asset, and he's keen that they all achieve a good work-life balance, which in turn helps to ensure a successful business environment. So without further ado, let's bring on Ian. Hey Ian, how are you?
Good, thanks Andy. Yourself?
Fantastic. Now, folks out there, as every other week, this is a conversation and we invite you to join the conversation. Please fire in your questions as comments. There is a bit of lag, so don't wait until the end of the show to put your comments in. Put them in now and we'll have a go at answering them, or Ian will, at the end of the show. So let's do this. Ian, I know you. Tell us about yourself and your business.
Well, Andy, I just had hit a net magic number of 60, which is an achievement in itself. But yeah, I'm a Cooma boy, and that's where I went to school, and that's where I met you. But spent 15 years in banking. Eventually ended up in Gippsland. My wife originally comes from this area, and we just wanted to settle here. And I got into the forestry business, and a few years later, become an owner of it. But it's a great industry. It's a great, and I really enjoy the challenges of being a business owner. But it certainly, we had some challenges along the way as well. Both, and I think anyone that's in business has that. So it's about getting that life balance, and I'm thankful for you. But I started changing my ways a while ago. But after working with you, I've been able to accelerate that a lot. So thanks.
Fantastic. So tell us about the challenges. I know a bit of your backstory around when you first took over the business. Tell us about the work that was involved back then. How long? What were the hours like? What were the challenges back then when you first, the early years of that building that business?
Well, the big challenge was I actually worked in a business, and through various reasons it ended up went into administration, and I with another partner we took on the challenge of keeping that business going, because we had a really loyal workforce, and so we started that challenge. But yeah, you've just got it's a real grind, and we had a lot of just to make it end meet each week was, it was tough, but we had good people, and then along the way we had a couple of things that just test you out. So we had the Black Saturday fires in 2009, and we lost a lot of equipment with that. That was a real challenge. And then 2011, I got diagnosed with cancer, and suddenly had to step out of the business for 12 months. So that's probably when I learned that you can't do it all yourself, but I also realised to make a full recovery, which I have done, you need to change the way you do things, and let people do their work, and also tend to be a bit more. You can still be hands on, but use tools to be hands on, and don't have to get fully involved, and just try to reduce that stress level, because I think anyone in business knows it can be very stressful.
Yeah. So a couple of things there. One is behind every successful business, no one sees how tough it is to start with. No one sees the tough years. And you have a very successful business. I know you've grown the business, and you're supporting, I think, 30 families down there. So, but no one sees the tough times when it was hard to put food on the table back then, and the risk you took taking over a business that was in administration, basically. So that's one thing, and well done. And it's a good thing to share, because people don't hear that side of it. They only see the end result of not the backstory. But so back then yes, you got forced into making a change. So how many hours a week or how many days a week were you working back then before, unfortunately, you did get diagnosed with cancer? What sort of hours were you keeping in the business?
Oh, look, I probably, in some ways, you don't stop. It's not 24/7, but I'm working 50 to 60 hours at work, and then you go home and you're thinking about work, and you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about work, and at the weekend you're thinking about work. So it never really stops. But you're just trying to work out how you're going to get there in the end. And look, I never regret taking that challenge on, but it was certainly probably a little bit daunting before I started. But I probably had the confidence, and I had the support of Virginia, my wife, as well, to go and do it. But you just got to. It's grind. It's a grind, and there's always something that comes unexpected, and you either push your way through it or you give up. And I'm not a person that gives up, and I'm always sort of been known as someone that always looks at the glass half full type of when any situation arrives. But yeah, a few times I got a bit tested.
Yeah, okay. And it was tough. Obviously, you're bringing up a family, a home life with working that much. Did that affect your home life? Was it tough to fit in, kids and other activities as well?
I think, yeah, you try to still do that, but there's certainly plenty of times where you don't, and you miss out on things, and you miss some of those key things, or you become so embroiled in the business that you just want to keep on going. You've got to keep on going.
Yeah, but the good news is you did make a change. Unfortunately, it was a change that was probably forced upon you. Of course, when you were diagnosed with cancer, so you had to spend time out of the business. So tell us, apart from the dreadful illness there, of course, how did that work for you when you first were forced out of the business? So you had to quickly work out how the business was going to keep going without you. How did that work for you?
Well, it was an interesting thing, because actually a week before I got diagnosed, my daughter started working for me, Jen, and we'd planned that from a while. We'd often talked about working together, and then suddenly she started working for me, and I had a couple of managers that were in the business. And then when I got diagnosed, it was very, I had to focus on getting better. So I just had to walk away from the business. And what happened was people just step up. They really just step up, and they do the little things, and people, it was another challenge for them as well. But and away we went. I could keep I probably keep a little bit of an interest into it, but really not for 8 to 12 months. I really didn't have a lot to do with the business. Yep. And after that, it was actually I see it as a turning point, and it actually we picked up some work towards the end of that 12-month period, and really since that period we've been able to grow the business, because I've been focusing more on working on the business, not in the business. But I've also since that time, I've certainly, prior, if I had 2 weeks holiday, that was nearly unheard of. And if I had 2 weeks holiday, I was still thinking about the business. Whereas if I have a break now, I generally have 4 weeks off, and then a lot of little mini breaks along the way as well, to keep myself fresh.
Yeah, actually, I have had, Virginia and you were both over in the French Alps at the retreat this year, and Virginia did share that she used to have a workaholic husband that's now much more relaxed. So then we sort of reconnected then through some of that period post that illness, and you'd started growing the business, and I believe you were back to working long hours in the business. There was some some reasons you had to be there, and then we reconnected and we started to implement. And you went through the Work From Anywhere program, and tell us about how that has impacted your business.
Oh, that's been an absolute godsend. What it's done is, first of all, just the systems and the how you do it. I used to travel, and I'd be trying to dial into a server and doing all these sort of things, and the connection wouldn't work, or there'd be some motels the security wouldn't let you in, and become often very frustrating. So we basically went through and set everything up on G Suite with the auxiliary systems. I've found it's just so easy to get the information that you need, or do the communication you need. The information is there, but the other side was the support of you with the program to get through, because we, as a business, never used really Google except for a search engine, but just working your way through the processes, and there was a few subtle changes, but the support that you gave let us get through that system pretty quickly and see the advantages very quickly.
Yeah, and I've seen this, and what the change I think I've seen for you is that it now does give you access to your business. You don't, dialing into a server is a very ineffective or inefficient way of doing things. But I know one of the comments you've said since going through the program is, suddenly don't know what to do. Sometimes I don't have anything to do. I'm caught up because it's, you've been working a lot more efficiently and effectively. And talking to Virginia, she says to me, now Ian comes home at 4 o'clock and says, let's go for a walk. And he's never done that before. So, it's been great to watch and observe you going through that and be part of that. It's been fantastic. So making those changes, those efficiencies and working differently now over the last 12 months, what difference has that made to your business?
I think it's made the business stronger, and because the other thing that we're really doing, and I'm still working through it, but is having not just one person that can do different things. There's people, more than one person that can do things, and we're working on setting up our procedures so that we have a easy ready reference. If someone is away, and they can quickly go and have a look at, that's how I do that. So it's made, we've grown our business further in the last 12 months, and we tend to keep on doing that. But it just makes it a lot more. It's more manageable. It's more enjoyable, and and you're less. When you're less stressed, you think straight more clearly too. So and I believe in having a happy, good workplace. If you've got people that are in the workplace that are happy, they're productive, and they enjoy coming to work. So it's all those things.
Yeah. So what it's done, it's not, your business is now not dependent solely on you, but it's also not dependent on many other people in your business. Would you agree with that?
That's right. Yeah. So we're spreading the load and sharing the load, and I think I'm really looking forward over the next 12, 18 months. Some of that impact will will be greater, and as I said, really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Okay. And a really good little story I've got, and I remember when we were over in the French Alps this year, and you were over there at the retreat. And you come across, you had an issue or a particular challenge in your business while you were over the other side of the world, and you were able to not only resolve that but end up with a much better result. Now, so without sharing the details, of course, can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, well, that was something that, if it's something, these things that unexpectedly come up, and I had to get some information back pretty quickly, but the situation was, there was a phone call in the morning, and I needed all this. Information was needed the next day, but we still went for a walk and we went for a hike. I think I got back to the retreat at 3:00 that afternoon. Got the computer out onto the cloud, got the information. It might have worked to midnight that night, but it was 7:00 back here. So the people back here had the information when they started work the next day. I went to sleep. Next day we went on another hike up, I think up the top, and I got a phone call later in the day. So everything was fine. So I know if that had been 12 months earlier, I probably wouldn't have been able to get all that information back in that time frame. It would have been a bigger challenge. So it was, so that proved to me that, you can, whether I'm sitting here at home or in the office or on the other side of the world, it doesn't matter. You can still do it. And that was, now that's, I guess, the idea of the retreat at the end. I'll be honest, when I signed up for it, I was really looking forward to the retreat and probably thinking, no, I know the rest of it, but I actually learned a lot in the 6 months before that gave me the tools to really enjoy the retreat.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And we had, so that wasn't a problem. We had some fantastic conversations at the retreat too. Anyway, so fantastic. Doesn't matter which side of the world you're on, you can resolve problems, which is really good. So that was the effect it had on your business. And you've told us a little bit, what's the end result? What difference has it made to your life now you've made that change to integrating work and life as one? And I know for a fact you've been away this year, and I think you're heading off next week on another trip. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm actually having a holiday next week. I'm away for a month. I'm spending all of October away, and I'm going to Scotland and then on to the United States. And that's a holiday, so I'm not going to be. Look, there might be a couple of little things for work, but won't be too much. It's a break, and I think that's the other important thing to do is you can have all the systems in place and that, but you'll need to have a holiday.
That's a really good point. I'm really glad you brought that up, because I've done similar at the end of my time over there, and that is people think that if you're available online from anywhere at any time, that you are available anytime. But it's about, and it's part of what we went through in the program, it's about taking control of your time, and working from anywhere and integrating work and life in one, and a holiday is two separate things. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, because that's important. You said you're going on a holiday, and a holiday isn't working. Integrating work and life is something you do for the other 11 months of the year to enhance your life. It's life as well. But I done similar at the end of my time in France. I had 2 weeks holiday, went to Italy for 2 weeks and traveled around Italy with my partner, Jenny. And that was a holiday. We traveled around, and she will tell you, I did not work for 2 weeks. So very, very important. So thanks for sharing that, Ian. What advice would you have for other business owners out there considering making some changes in the way they do business, they run their business and their life?
Well, it's what you actually said at the start. You don't have to get it perfect to start with. Just start doing it, and you'll make a few mistakes along the way, but just do it. The rewards are so strong, and if don't put it off. We're only here for a finite time, and we should be enjoying the day or seizing the day.
Fantastic. That is fantastic advice. Now's the time for Q&A questions. Now, I've only just looked at the comments, and I can see there that Courtney's joined us again. My daughter Jenny's here. Hey, Jenny. And Jenny says, hey, Ian. Hi, Ian. Cheryl's there. Hi, Pom and Ian. Yeah, Pom is my name from many years ago. Cheryl's the only one that still calls me that. And, of course, Jennifer Ferguson's there too, saying, hi, guys. This is your daughter. But I don't see any questions. Come on, people. Fire a question at us. You can do it. Fire a question. Virginia Reid is there, and she says, Carpe Diem really works. Just do it. Cheryl, let's put some of these comments up. I forgot that I can do that. Sorry, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to do this right. It's not perfect. Virginia Reid says Carpe Diem really works. Just do it. Cheryl Toole, hey Cheryl, great to hear your story and enjoy your holiday. That's not a question, but anyway, that's a statement. Anyone got any questions for us? Go on, someone's going to have a question. If not, we're just going to leave you. I might not even give the book away if you don't ask a question. And there may be a bit of lag time. Anyway, if there isn't any questions, no, it doesn't look like there is. Thank you. Oh, here we go. We have a question from Wayne McCartney. Wayne, hey Wayne. Wayne's joined us the last few weeks. Where's the holiday to?
A week in Scotland and 3.5 weeks in America.
Fantastic.
And watching a lot of sport.
Sounds like a good holiday to me, and a holiday it will be. Okay, we've come to the end of the show, and Kay Saranen says, question, okay then, how are you? That was a question, really, Kay? Yeah, we're good. How are you, Ian? Kay's asking how are you. That's as big a question. You get nice, deep questions here today. Okay, that's it. If you've got any other questions, you can actually connect with Ian. Yeah, flick him a Facebook message. I'm sure you can find him there. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Ian. It's been an absolute pleasure having you both here tonight to share your story and on the Work From Anywhere program. And I'm looking forward to continuing that relationship with your daughter, Jen. Is going to be part of the program this year, which is absolutely awesome. Before we go any further, it's time to give away the book. Get ready with your comments. Before I give away the book, I'm going to talk about next week's guest. Next week's guest is, I'm just going to read some of these, is Scotty Schindler. Scotty Schindler is known as the quintessential Australian success story. Scotty is the founder of Reid. Scotty is going to share how he was able to grow his startup to become an international brand and company that managed $1.12 trillion in real estate, and how he was able to do that as he sometimes traveled around Australia in a caravan. I've been talking with Scotty. He's a super cool dude. The other big news is Scotty's actually going to be joining us in the French Alps next year, where we will also be sharing his story, his experience, and some of his knowledge over there. So that's really exciting. Please join us next week to hear what Scotty has to say. Go and check out his website. He is a super cool dude, and he is a success story. His website is just scottyschindler.com. Okay. The book. Time to give the book away. The book is going to go to the person that, after this show, there's going to be an outro because I'm getting groovy with the show, and then there'll be a slide introducing or telling you about Scotty joining us next week. The question is, look at that slide and tell me where Scotty comes from. So let's do that. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Here we go. Let's try this out. Good luck. Here we go.